Dear students, I welcome you on behalf of Thakur Vidya Mandir High School and Junior College for the remote teaching learning process, where our motto is let learning be a joy and teaching a pleasure.
Let us move towards part 4 of chapter number 3, issue of shares, wherein today we are going to understand about issue of shares to the existing equity shareholders of the company in the form of rights issue and bonus issue. In our previous video, we have already understood about methods of issue of shares. Not only that, we even understood about the A category, that is the public offer, wherein we learned about IPO, that is initial public offer, and further public offer. Now, today, let us move towards the B category, that is methods of issue of shares to the existing equity shareholders, wherein we are going to further understand about the rights issue and bonus issue. So let us take up the fourth question, that is explain briefly the different types of shares offered by a company to its existing equity shareholders. A company can raise funds by offering shares to its existing equity shareholders in the following two ways. Firstly, it is rights issue, and secondly, it is bonus issue. Let us understand both these methods in detail. To begin with, the first one is rights issue. A company may need extra capital to meet its financial obligations, acquire assets, or even facilitate or move towards expansion. In such a situation, the company may go for rights issue to fulfill its capital requirements. Now, let us understand the meaning of rights issue. It implies issue of shares to the existing equity shareholders of a company in proportion to their existing shareholdings, which means that the number of additional shares that can be bought by the existing equity shareholders depends on their current holdings. Through rights issue, the existing equity shareholders enjoy preemptive rights, that is, they have the option to buy or subscribe towards the new shares which are offered by the company. Let us now move towards the provisions relating to rights issue. It is necessary for a company to fulfill the below mentioned provisions while making a rights issue. Firstly, the shares which are sold by means of rights issue must be sold to the existing equity shareholders at a price which is lesser than its market price. Secondly, at the time of making rights issue, the company is required to send its offer by means of letter of offer to all its existing equity shareholders. Thirdly, letter of offer needs to mention certain details like the number of shares that the company has offered through rights issue. It must also contain the period for which the offer is meant, that is, it should state that rights issue will be valid for at least 15 days but for not more than 30 days from the date of offer. Thirdly, it must also specify about the right to renounce, that is, it should clearly mention that if a shareholder is not interested in subscribing towards right issue, then he or she can give up their shares in favor of any other person. Next, the letter of offer can be sent either by registered post or speed post or courier, or even it could be sent through the electronic mode. Further, After receiving the letter of offer, the shareholders must respond back to the company if he or she is interested in subscribing towards the new shares of the company. However, if a shareholder does not respond within the specified time limit, then the company understands that he or she is not interested in the offer and that now it can offer the unsold shares to the new investors. Lastly, even in case of rights issue, the company has to obtain minimum subscription amount which should be 90% of the shares that has been issued. Let us now move towards the second one, which is bonus issue. Bonus issue or bonus shares are those shares distributed by a company to its existing equity shareholders free of charge. These shares are always fully paid up and issued in proportion to their shareholdings, which means that they are issued based upon the number of shares that a shareholder owns currently. Bonus issue is usually made by those companies who are financially sound, that is, those companies who have huge amount of accumulated distributable profits or reserves make use of such profits to issue bonus shares. In this way, by means of issuing bonus shares, the company converts its profits or reserves into share capital. It is for this reason that bonus issue is also called as capitalization of profits or reserves because through bonus issue, the company converts its profits or reserves into share capital. Let us now understand the provisions relating to bonus issue. Firstly, the company can issue bonus shares only out of free reserves, which are basically created out of the profits earned by company. Or it can make bonus issue out of securities premium account. Now we need to know as to what is securities premium account. Whenever a company issues shares at premium, that is at a value which is higher than the face value, then in such a case, company opens a separate account called as securities premium account and the amount received as premium is deposited in this securities premium account. A company can use even this amount for its bonus issue. Or a company can make bonus issue also out of capital redemption reserve account which is created to be used only for a specific or particular purpose. Secondly, no bonus issue can be made by a company only out of reserves which are created from revaluation of assets. Revaluation of assets means a change in market value of assets, whether it is increasing or decreasing. Many times company creates reserves through revaluation of assets. A company cannot just make use of this reserves for issue of bonus shares. It needs to make use of even other free reserves in order to issue bonus shares. Thirdly, a company cannot issue bonus shares in place of dividend. Bonus issue cannot be treated as a compensation for non-payment of dividend. Fourthly, the issue of bonus shares cannot be withdrawn once the announcement for the same has been made by the board of directors. Further, shares issued in the form of bonus issue must always be fully paid up. That is, company cannot demand any money on such shares. Next, the benefit of bonus issue, which is enjoyed by existing equity shareholders only. They cannot renounce it, that is, they cannot give away or pass on their bonus shares to another person. Lastly, these shares are fully paid up and given free of cost, so the question of minimum subscription does not arise at all. Thus, with this, we have completed methods of issue of shares to existing equity shareholders in the form of rights issue as well as bonus issue. Thank you, dear children, for your patience listening.